Good morning everyone, welcome to our Tuesday morning clinical Pilates, full body today, so a little bit of everything, so mobility, strength, stabilisation, so hopefully you enjoy it. Placing your feet hip distance apart, nice soft knees, growing tall towards the ceiling, keeping that peach tucked underneath your chin, wide collarbones, shoulder blades connecting down towards your back pockets, finding that neutral spine and then drawing in lower abdominals, little lift up through your pelvic floor to center. So just start rolling through those shoulders for me, nice big circles. And then floating your arms up in front of you, palms facing down, elbow to your back wall. Big sweeps all the way round into our corkscrews, behind the ears, shrugging the shoulders up, pulling the shoulders back down, unwinding for me. Lift, lower, sweep. Last one. And then we're going to stretch down the side of our neck. So keep that shoulder down. Overpressure's fine. If you want to just feel that stretch a little bit more deeper. And swap into the other side. And then coming into roll downs for me. Chin down towards your chest, peeling each spinal bone forwards in order. Lengthening through the back of your legs. Taking a deep breath in. And then breath out, tucking that tailbone under, stacking each spinal bone back on top. Chin is the last thing to lift. And go again. So whenever we do our warm-up, same warm-up every single time, and just acknowledge how your body feels with these movements that you do before every single class. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling energetic? Are you feeling a little bit stiff, a little bit tight? Last one for me. And then widening through your stance. So pointing your toes out into two, coming into squats, pushing those hips forward, squeezing those glutes. Coming into reverse lunges. So pelvis is level, try not to wobble from left to right, dropping that knee down behind. Toy soldier, opposite arm, opposite leg. finishing off with our walking. High on the toes, dropping the heel left to right. Got a tickly nose. And relaxing down, well done. So coming into side lying, I'm going to start with a little bit of hip series work. So you're going to hover the leg, keep the knee bent, you are going to come forwards, and then you are going to come all the way back and keeping that knee to 90 degrees. So squeezing into the glutes as you come back, keeping that pelvis and that trunk nice and still. So exhale as you go back with the squeeze on the glutes, inhale as you come forwards. So imagine as though you've got a tray of drinks along the thigh here, and you don't want them to slide off the front, but you also don't want them to slide off the back. Okay, so try and keep that thigh parallel to the floor. Two more. Lovely. And taking it down, let yourself have a little bit of recovery. So clams, level 1. So breath out, breath in. Breath out, breath in. So remember, that pelvis remains really still. Make sure that you're not dropping back with it, tilting back. It's all coming from that hip externally rotating. Should be creeping in with a little bit of a burn now. Two more here. 1 Lovely, rubbing that side of the hip. So from here, we're gonna come into side bends. So side bends is gonna work into our shoulder, static shoulder stabilization, and we're gonna squeeze into the side of our trunk. Now I know it's not for everybody to lift and load through their shoulder. So if you need to do a bend without doing the pelvic lift, that's obviously gonna be easier, less body weight on that shoulder. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 10. So we'll do our first 10, we'll rest, come off the shoulder, and then we'll do another 10. Okay, so count your own. 3, 2, 1, go. And lovely. So come off that shoulder, give it a little bit of a shake and a rest. So not just what goes on around our shoulder blade is going to be working nicely with stabilization as we do those as well. And getting a nice bit of weight through our shoulder, really important for our bone health as well, because we very often don't really put a lot of weight through our upper limbs. And that's important for our bone density strength as well. When you are ready, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, lovely. Swap into the other side. Side kicks, level 1s. So nice and long through your spine. Make sure you've got your gap underneath here and you're not slumped in a side bend position. Hovering that top leg. So 90 degree at the hip as it comes forwards, 90 degree at the knee. Keep the knee as it is, and then you're going to extend that hip all the way back, hip extension, and then returning back again. So breath out as you come back, because I want that nice squeeze with the exhale and that nice strong strength through your core. Breath in as you come forwards again. So feel that burn, but keep doing it anyway. So a little rest. Climb. So again, make sure that your posture is as it needs to be. So nice and long through the spine, neutral spine, and then strong through that core. Make sure we've got that gap. So exhale out as you raise, inhale to return. So lifting that knee up towards the ceiling and returning back down again. So keep pushing in end range every single time if you can. It's very easy just to stop just short of it, but you're not going to get as strong if you do that. So nice big push into that end range squeeze. So just check that that core is still bracing. Two more. Relaxing down, well done. So giving that hip a little bit of a rub if you need to, a little bit of a smack, and then you are going to come into your side bends. So make sure that that elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. If it's too far away here, it will feel awkward on that shoulder joint. So elbow directly underneath the shoulder for me. So first round of 10, 3, 2, 1, go. So nice big reach. You don't have to do the lift if you don't want to, just the reach across. Lovely. Have a rest. Shake out through that arm if you need to. And then last round of 10. So again, as much of a bend as you can and much of a squeeze into this trunk as you can. 3, 2, 1, go. Lovely. And then when you finish, line on your back. So let's just stretch around these hip joints. So if you straighten one leg out, pulling the knee across to the opposite shoulder so you can feel that stretch on the outside of the hip joint here. And then you are going to pull that ankle around towards you. So make sure, as I say, that knee is across midline, holding it, anchoring it down. If it's into the chest in the center or on the same side, it's not going to stretch on the outside of the hip joint. So you've got to pull it across the body. And then if you can grab hold of the ankle and pull it around, you'll get a deeper stretch. And swap into the other side, pulling across. Lovely. And then external rotation. So you're going to put your foot across to the thigh. If you can feel enough of a stretch on, you're going to leave it. To increase the stretch, pushing away, but ideally, I would like you to pull this thigh towards you and hold that stretch on. Swap into the other side. And relaxing down, lovely. So linking your fingers together, cradling the back of your head. We're going to reach opposite leg to opposite shoulder with our crunches. So oblique twists, and then over to that leg that you bring up into single leg tabletop. Anyone who's struggling with that combination and wants something a little bit easier, you are just going to move into your trunk only, okay? And within a range that you can control as well. So nice flat abdominal wall. Make sure that we're not doming and bracing and pushing outwards as we do these. And definitely not rocking from left to right on that pelvis. So keeping it as still and as fixed as you possibly can. So exhale as you crunch, inhale as you return. Six more of these in total. And always let that little bit of burn give you the reassurance that you're going to get stronger. Lovely. Bringing those knees into the chest, giving them a squeeze. So circle in 10 times one way and then 10 times the other. Lovely, stretching into those hamstrings. So nice and long through that leg. So hopefully you can get to 90. If you're struggling, just hold a little bit lower down on the thigh, pointing down to those toes, keeping this leg bent by the side. If you can get a little bit further, you're going to pull that leg a little bit closer towards you. But as I say, make sure that you've got that nice, strong, locked leg so that you've got a straight knee position and this thigh is squeezing. And just hold that hamstring stretch. And swap into the other side. Lovely. And then we're going to come into our hip flexors. So coming forwards, nice big lunge, and then you are going to come all the way into that stretch. So leaving that knee behind you. So as I say, I see so many people that hold here, and we have to hip extend to get that stretch at the front of the hip flexor. So make sure that you're leaning in as much as you possibly can, opening up to the front of this hip joint. And swap into the other side. And then coming into standing. So from high kneeling to standing, hands behind your ears for me. So this is going to mean you're not pushing up from your knees. Standing up and then coming back down again. So the last leg you put down is the first leg that you lead with, okay? And just keep working for me. So I'm sure you already all hear my voice in your head. If you ever push up from the floor and you push up from your knees, don't do it. But this is just a reminder. So if you do feel like you are weak with this exercise, it's definitely something for you to try and master. Really good functional exercise to make sure that we're maintaining that strength in our knees. Well, and our hips as well, actually. So quads and glutes are predominantly working as we do this exercise. We're going to do 4 more of these. And then when you come back down, just stay on those knees for me. Lovely. So coming into prone leg pull. So you're going to curl over onto your toes, keeping that nice neutral spine. Lots of load going through those arms and those shoulders. So deep breath in, breath out as you raise, breath in as you lower. Four more of these. 1. Keep with that exhale out as you raise. 2. And 4. Lovely. Flat on your tummy. So swimming level 3s. So you decide how long you have your arms. Obviously, the longer you have your arms, the harder it's going to be to control around your shoulder blades. So you might want to bend your arms down a little bit more as you do these. So tucking that tailbone down, drawing in through your core, wide collarbones, tips of your shoulder blades pulling down towards your back pockets and keeping that peach underneath your chin. You are going to lift opposite arm to opposite leg. So exhale, raise. Inhale as you lower back down. So trying to just use those muscles around the shoulder blade. And as you hip extend into glutes and hamstrings only. You shouldn't feel any gripping, tension and tightness in your lower back as you do this, because it should be stabilized in neutral with a nice strong brace of your core. One more from left to right. And then we're going to come into our our cobras. So pushing up into an extended position on the elbows, and then you are going to push to straightened out arms, extending that spine. So taking a deep breath in here, and then breath out, elbows down, chest down, forehead down. Two more here. And then when you return down, heel in towards your bottom. So stretching into those quads. So remember to push that hip forwards if you can. Try not to allow it to start raising and lifting away from the floor. Swap into the other side. And then coming all the way back into shelf stretch for me. And then coming all the way back up into standing. So feet hip distance apart, double knee bend, sweeping the hands into the center, breath out as you go all the way over the top. Last one. And relaxing down, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a lovely day, everyone, and I will see you again at one of our other classes.